We keep on moving, we keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We ain't slowing down. We keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. Yeah. No, we ain't slowing it down. Let's go.
We ain't slowing down, baby. Come and show me how. Gotta do it right now. You know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things they never last. Pull up in a whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium. Pull up with a team and I ain't worried about the other side. They know that they ain't beating them on everything I love. Word to the man above. Keep it cool, calm, collected. At this point, you get the message. Life is hectic, but we gotta keep it rolling, no. Gotta keep it moving like we stole it, though. Rolling with the punches, giving hits like we are in a scope. Even though I'm clocking, punching in, I'm independent, though. Staying prayed up, ain't nothing gon' phase us. Ain't never gon' let a lame say what they just made up. I never take a pay cut, we getting what we worth in. I never change the blueprint, cause we know it's really working. Moving.
We keep on moving along.
Keep it moving, keep it rolling.
No, we ain't slowing it down.
Never slowing down, never
moving.
moving.
We keep on moving along.
Keep it moving, keep it
rolling.
rolling.
No, we ain't
Keep it
slowing
rolling, keep it
it down.
never gonna lose it. Cause we in it for the movement. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. Don't play into their amusement. If we trying, we ain't dying. Never sleep, never sleep, never. The moment that you rest your head, they think they can't compete. If you gotta skip steps, then the plan is not complete. Get your reps in, get your reps in, get your. Never rest on a past success. You gotta love what you do if you tryna be the best.
Keep on moving.
Moving,
We keep on moving along.
keep it moving, keep it rolling.
We ain't slowing it down.
Never slowing down, never
Moving.
moving.
We keep on moving
Keep it
along.
moving, keep it moving, keep it
rolling.
rolling. Keep it rolling, keep it moving. We ain't never gonna lose it.
Who's been to Epstein Island, mate? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever and whatever you're doing in the world. I hope you're well. I am GAZ X, so they tell me. Well, that's what I tell myself anyway, you know what I mean, more to the point. I hope you're well wherever you are. I hope the world is treating you really fantastically if you're watching this stream or when you're watching this stream. I've had a really nice day. Just getting little bits prepared. I had a bit of a catastrophe yesterday. For my catering business, I ordered some a certain product that needed to be in it, right, for the catering. But I got quite a bit because it's wholesale order. Anyway, it ended up going to where I used to live and not here. Yeah, that was a mistake, wasn't it? So I've had to order it again. But fortunately, it came today, so I've got it again. So I had to order it twice. But what I did do, see, I'm the nice guy that I am. When I got the message saying it was delivered, but it was delivered to the neighbour because I weren't in when I was actually in. And then I looked at the neighbour and I thought the picture that they've sent me isn't the same picture as the neighbour's front door. I thought, what? So I rang them. Yeah, I thought, what?
What?
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I went to, what I did then is I rang up the company that I bought which I use regularly, and they have delivered to me here before, but for somehow that my old address was on there, which is a 5-hour drive from here, right? So I couldn't just go and get it. So anyway, I rang one of my old neighbours up and said, by the way, go to this address, pick this box of food up, and you're welcome to it. So it all turned out well in the end, so that was good. Yeah. So they've got loads of food, courtesy of my cup. Anyway, that's how it goes, isn't it? So, but yes, I've had a good day today. Been a bit chilled out, been a bit relaxed. It's all right. It's very hot, isn't it, still? I mean, we'll get into that in a bit. Anyway, we'll get into that in a bit. So let's see who's here. Too Shy's here, everybody. Good to see you, Too Shy. And the wonderful, marvellous, beautiful, wonderful, crazy and intelligent Beth Gish is here, everybody. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Deserves a cheer, that one. And Gun, the legend that is Gun, is here, everybody. Hey, good to see you, Gun. Good to see you, mate. Yes, don't worry. And don't worry, Gun, if they don't sort of chat. Don't worry, Gun, right? If I don't read the chat, unless it's really going, I can't look at it. It's really difficult to do this and try and focus on what you're doing, and then especially when it's me doing it, because I'll read the chat and then I forget everything that I'm doing because it's just a hobby. I'm not a professional, you know. Too many laughs, Gaz. Too many laughs indeed. I know. Anyway, we won't be laughing soon. So if you've been watching my streams over the throughout the week, what are we now? What day are we now? Wednesday. Oh, so it's only been 2, and maybe from last week. I don't know. But anyway, I said right that they're softening us up for tax rises, for tax increases. You know, when all these millionaires were going, I think, you know, Gary Lineker and the ilk of that lot saying, yeah, I think we should be paying more tax, when they can go and pay more tax if they want to do it. But it's just to soften up the normies like me and you, to get us ready to pay more tax. And here is the case in point. Have a look at this. Burnham doesn't rule out tax rises to fix social care. Yes, I did say this is all to soften us up. And me personally, my own personal opinion about this is, it's not tax for social care. I don't think it's going to be used for that. It's just like road tax isn't used to fix all the roads. If they use this, all the tax money goes into a big pool. As far as I'm aware, right? And they send it off all over the place, and they spend it all over the place, you know. And loads of us just think you shouldn't be spending that on that, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be sending Pakistan or wherever, or China or wherever, millions of pounds. We're in debt. We need that money. Our people need that money. It should stay here. But no, they do it. But anyway, let's have a little look, because I haven't had a look. I just saw the headline and thought, there it is. And so what do we got? Andy Burnham has promised to end decades of government inaction by fixing adult social care in England, and did not rule out tax rises to help pay for it. There you go. But is it going to be tax rises that's going to pay for that? Or are these taxes going to be going to, like, Slavic Ukraine or something like that? Is that where it's all going to be going? Do you know what I mean? Because or to these wonderful illegal immigrants that we put in such a lovely life for them, aren't we? As guests in our I was going to say wonderful country. Well, it is a wonderful country, I suppose, parts of it. Other parts, not so much. Anyway, the Prime Minister said it was... the Prime Minister, by the way, imagine this. Imagine no more. Imagine no more. Imagine if we could just take your taxes. Imagine if we could just take all your earnings, everything you've sweated for forever, and your forefathers before you, when they go and they get taxed. Imagine we can take all your tax, all your money in tax. Imagine that, and we can spend it however we see fit, because we know far better than you how to spend that money. Yeah, because they don't create any, do they? No, they don't. Anyway, the Prime Minister said it was a major dereliction of public duty that successive governments had failed to address the crisis, adding there would be difficult decisions on funding, but he was determined to get it right. He's determined to get your money. That's what he's determined to do. His plans include a new national care service with more pay and better training for care workers and closer integration with the NHS. He announced that a review of social care by veteran Whitehall troubleshooter Baroness Casey would now be published next summer instead of 2028. Because we need to publish it now. Look, we need a reason to tax you, right? We got to get your money. Don't you get it yet? We've got to get it all. These bombs and all these things we want to do, you know what I mean? They're not going to pay for themselves, you know. And don't get me wrong, the government doesn't create anything, does it? What does it create? You tell me. In an emotional speech, is he supposed to be the leader of a nation? Oh, God. In an emotional speech, he praised those caring for his father, who has Alzheimer's, and said he wanted to deliver changes to help my dad and the millions like him. He is attempting to get cross-party consensus on any changes and has held initial talks with the Liberal Democrats and Conservatives in an attempt to get them on board. Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davey took part in the talks, but Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch could not be there and sent Shadow Health Secretary Stuart Andrew instead. Andrew said any changes must be backed by a clear, credible and fully costed plan that delivers better care for the public and value for taxpayers. Yeah, because you can trust them all. Burnham did not invite the leaders of Reform UK or the Green Party of England and Wales to the talks. Both parties have expressed disappointment at this. Yeah, they needed to be there, didn't they? Making a speech at a care home in North London. We'll get into this in a minute. This is a weird one. Look at the picture. Can you see the picture? Let me just show you. Look at where he is. Look at the little fella that he's talking to. Look at the little old fella he's talking to. What's that on his head? What's that on his head? What's that all about then? What's that all about? Anyway, we'll carry on. Making a speech at a care home in North London, Burnham said that there was a feeling in Westminster that the issue is too big a political risk to deal with, adding he wants to take on the challenge as the risks of failing to act are too great. Burnham highlighted the financial impact of care costs on people and spoke of how fixing issues in social care could ease the pressure on the NHS and make savings. A pancake, says Beth on his head. It's a pancake. It looks like a pancake, don't it? Too many laughs. The PM said Baroness Casey's review should consider how to pay for a national care service, adding that there needs to be a system that becomes highly integrated with the NHS. Burnham said he wants to immediately focus on the social care workforce, noting a fair pay agreement is due to come into force from 2028-2029, and described it as a massive building block of a national care service. And there's a thing under the picture. It says Burnham spoke to residents at a Jewish care facility in North London before delivering his speech. Why there? Why there? Well, I think we all know why, don't we, at this point? Marie Walker is here, everybody! Good to see you, Marie Walker. I hope you're well. Anyway, Burnham first proposed a universal system of social care in England in 2009, when he was Health Secretary under former Minister Gordon Brown. He suggested a compulsory levy. A compulsory levy. What? What?
What?
A compulsory levy. Compulsory, right? He suggested a compulsory levy to fund the system, and Brown's government also floated the idea of allowing people to defer the payment until after they died, leading to the Tories branding it a death tax. Want your money? Even when you're dead, they want your money. Answering questions about his social care ambitions, Burnham was pressed on the prospect of tax rises. He said the first thing is to do more with what you've got, and issues he raised on Wednesday, including for the workforce, will be fully funded. Yeah, we'll see about that, won't we? Burnham added, some of what we would want to do in the fuller sense will require difficult decisions, but we will be honest with the people about those. We will put them before the country at the right time, and we will hopefully proceed with people's consent. I doubt it. We're all taxed enough, mate. Everybody's on the breadline. We've had enough. Energy prices are too much. All of it. The green levies. Throwing money away. Promising countries billions for their war. No. We've had illegal immigration. Paying for all of that. We've had enough. You're milking us too hard now. People have had enough. Adult social care provides state support to help people live more independently, including assistance at home. Unlike the NHS, social care is not free at the point of use. In England and Northern Ireland, people with savings worth more than £23,250 are not entitled to help with care costs from their council. In Wales and Scotland, different rules apply in terms of eligibility. Asked about the threshold, Burnham said, I think social care in England is as unfair as American healthcare. The vulnerable pay with everything, and it can completely leave them with nothing. That flaw has been in place. That That flaw has been in place for a long time, and common sense says it cannot be fair. It's all about fair, isn't it? Got to be fair. Somebody keeps saying it. He keeps saying you got to imagine and you got to be fair.
Imagine what
Being fair.
imagine,
Being fair.
Imagine,
Be fair.
imagine,
Be fair. Be fair.
imagine,
Be fair.
imagine no more.
Imagine being fair. Imagine it. Just imagine it. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it, if everything was fair. Burnham said, in an ideal world, he would not want anyone to have to sell their home to pay for care, describing it as really awful process. He added proposals he previously put forward were intended to stop that, saying if everybody on the NHS principle on the NHS, right, hang on, it's how they write this stuff, or it's just me. It could be just me, you know. If everybody on the NHS principle contributed a little, the NHS principle, what's that mean? I don't know. It would mean everybody could protect the majority of what they'd worked for. So we've all got to put in. We're all going to have to pay for this, you see. Burnham said he did not know if people support that approach, adding this was for something for the consultation to consider. On the cross-party talks, Burnham said there has been 22 failed attempts to make progress in almost 30 years. The PM said, we're going to have to find common ground here if this is to be a lasting solution. Lib Dem leader Sir Ed, oh God, Sir Ed, where is he? Said the first constructive discussion had left him feeling hopeful and more meetings will be required to find consensus. He said everyone will have to accept things we might not like in order to work together. But I think that's what the public want to expect us to do. We don't want more taxes. We don't want more taxes. We've had enough. Sir Ed, oh God. Anyway, Sir Ed has a disabled son who needs round-the-clock care. Said the system. Who's fucking? This is supposed to be the BBC. Who's writing this stuff? Right, I'm going to read that exactly as it says it, right? Sir Ed, who has a disabled son who needs round-the-clock care, said the system, then speech marks. Said the system. Is Sir Ed the system? It sounds about right, actually, don't it? Sir Ed is literally the system. Oh no, so what they've done, right, I've seen it now, I've read it on a bit more. Right, so what they've done here is they've said, he said the system, and then they've put the speech marks, just isn't working. But when they done the, he said, then they should have put the speech marks, and then it should, the system just isn't working. End of speech marks. But they didn't do that. They put, he said, the system, then speech just isn't working. He just put just isn't working. So they've either made up that it's the system he's talking about because he didn't actually say that. He just said it just isn't working. It could be anything. It could be his legs. It could be his bladder. Just isn't working. Could be the local coal mine. Just isn't working. Could be anything, couldn't it? Anyway, shut up. It's up to me. It's my stream. I'm having a laugh. It's me hobby. Get over it. What, you came here for something serious, did you? Come on, behave yourself. Just isn't working, and any solution must have family carers at its heart. Reform Treasury spokesman Robert Jenrick said, make no mistake, today Andy Burnham fired the starting gun on his scheme to raid the little money that hundreds of thousands of regular people have struggled to save over their lifetimes. That's why he can't rule out the new universal death tax. Green Party social care spokesperson Ellie Chowns said if Andy Burnham is serious about doing things differently and tackling the crisis in care, he must work collaboratively with the Greens and other parties to do so. We're going to talk about the Greens in a little bit as well. We got more to talk about with them in a bit. Who's just turned up? Think Beyond Unique is here, everybody. Yes, Walled In breaks out. Yeah, you got all the names. You got all the names there. Where are we? Marie says, Ed Davey responsible for the post office scandal. Well, there you go. And I still don't think that's been resolved, has it? I don't think that has. To be fair, I really think that's still a thing. So talking about the Greens, I don't know if you saw this with Nigel Farage's Reform Party. Now we had a situation in this country where was it was her name? No, not Lucy Letby. That's the woman who might have potentially done babies in, but it's very suspect. What was the woman's name? I'll let you lot tell me. What was the woman's name who got sent to prison for 2 or 3 years because she made an X post and then took it down and said she was sorry? She said something. What was her name? Can anybody remember what her name was, please? Because I can't off the top of my head. But in this country, we're getting people put in jails for sticker posting. Hey, Gaz, what is the status of Digital ID UK? I don't know. Connolly. Was it Susie Connolly? I can't remember. I don't know what the digital ID in the UK is at the minute, mate. I don't know. I haven't really seen it. Lucy Connolly, that was it. Thank you very much, Marie Walker and Beth Gish. So, but I'll move on from that if you don't mind. Think beyond unique. I really don't know what the situation is. I haven't got a digital. Well, I have got a digital ID. I've got a passport. I've got a driving license. You've got, you have to have a digital. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? The world we're living in. Anyway, have a look at this, everybody. Zack Polanski condemns poor taste guillotine T-shirt after Farage calls police. Now, when it comes to this story, did I actually show you that? I think I did. When it comes to this story, right, you got to put it in that context of like Lucy Connolly and the other guy, the guy who did the stickers, and they're getting years in prison, and people are just posting stuff, right? And I mean years in prison, not like a suspended sentence and a fine. No, years in prison. So what is this? Zack Polanski has condemned an image of a man wearing a guillotine T-shirt and the words "making plans for Nigel" after Reform UK branded it an incitement to murder. Well, under their current rules and the way they're doing things, you sort of could say, yeah, that is a thing, isn't it? I mean, for me, none of these people should be getting into trouble for anything, right? Because, but when you look at Anne Widdecombe as well, you can see, Anne Widdecombe, sadly, was battered to death with a hammer 21 times over the head. And they reckon that, it's definitely political, in my opinion. It was definitely political motivation. And the guy's picture is always different. Every picture they show the guy who's supposed to have done it, he looks different. What's that all about? I have no idea. Can you trust anything these days? I don't know. But anyway, the Green Party leader upset Nigel Farage after sharing a series of now deleted pictures from a party event with his 713,000 followers. I think Lucy Connolly had I don't know how many followers she had. She didn't have nothing like that, I'm sure. And it was only up for a little while, and she was upset. And she'd probably had a drink and she regretted it and she said sorry. But she went to jail for 2 years, all right? Bear that in mind with this. And bear in mind as well what's just happened to Anne Widdecombe. So the tensions are high with this sort of stuff, right? The fifth picture reportedly featured a man with a colourful hat and a T-shirt that said, "We're only making plans for Nigel," an apparent reference to an XTC song. It has a man standing by a guillotine but doesn't use Farage's image or name explicitly. A Green Party spokesperson said, once this image was brought to Zack's attention, he immediately unshared the post. He unequivocally does not support this type of dangerous message. Yeah, but you did it, mate. You did it. If we're going to follow the rules that you lot are all put in there now, you should surely be going to jail. The post was hastily deleted but not before Farage posted a screenshot adding, "This is what Zack Polanski has just posted on his Instagram." There's Zack Polanski. He's an odd bod. Allegedly. Well, in my eyes, he's a very odd bod. But all the Greens are, aren't they? I think, personally. If I were to post anything as insightful, then I would expect to be arrested, and so should Polanski. Reform UK's Home Affairs spokesperson Zia Youssef said this is incitement to murder, with the party reporting the Instagram post to the Met Police. The Green Party spokesperson continued, "Zack condemns the image on the T-shirt." Well, why did he share it then? And he was tagged in a post with 20 images and clicked accept without realising that there was more to it than he had seen. Apparently he shared it. That's what I heard. But all right, we'll see. The T-shirt is clearly in poor taste, especially at a time of heightened fears for the security of public figures, having experienced multiple threats as himself. He and the Green Party call on everyone involved in public discourse to show kindness and not engage in more division. There's the actual T-shirt. I'll enlarge that for you. So there's the T-shirt with the weird dude, you know what I mean, in the weird hat. We're only making plans for Nigel. That's, yeah, very bright, isn't it? Very clever. A Met spokesman said, "We've received a third-party report relating to an image shared on social media. We take reports of this nature extremely seriously, far too seriously if you ask me, and officers are conducting inquiries into the matter." Yeah, that's a good use of policing money, isn't it? The BBC reported that Polanski had not been contacted by the police. Who took the picture? Who cares? Who cares who took it? The photojournalist who took the picture, known as Just Barreled, apologised to the Green leader. He said on X, "To be clear, Zack Polanski did not in any way post this photo. I took this photo of someone in a satirical T-shirt and I posted it as part of a run of photos which were offered for collaboration. This wasn't intended to offend anyone. It was clearly not intended as serious threat to anyone's safety whatsoever." Well, you're going to say that, ain't you, mate? Because obviously, if you're the one who did it, you know, or is the guy wearing the T-shirt in the wrong for wearing a T-shirt that incites? Is that inciting murder? I mean, is it? To me, no. To me, no, because I have a brain in my head, and just because somebody says something or does something like put the mask on to protect yourself from the most deadly, no, I'm a thinking person. No, I have got, you know, full capabilities. I can decide for myself, thanks, and no. But there you go. That's just me. Considering Anne Whitcomb was battered to death over 3 weeks ago. Yeah, well, yeah, it's bad taste, isn't it? Anyway, so yeah, it goes on. They go on about who's leading who in the polls and whatever, all that garbage. Who cares? I don't. But I just thought that was interesting. That, you know, they're getting a taste of their own medicine. Well, they're probably not. Nothing will happen. It's like that other guy, that Labour guy. Do you remember him? There was a protest somewhere, and he was shouting for, like, cut their heads off. Cut their heads off. And nothing happened to him. Nothing happened. It's two-tier policing. It is two-tier policing. This is, in Americano land, we're going to cross over now, because this is about time something come along with this. I mean, I thought this was all forgotten about and it was all brushed under the carpet. But no, there seems to be movement on this. Unless Fauci is held accountable, America will never recover from his lies. Ooh, spicy. At last. Something's gonna look at this guy. I don't know what you know about him, right? But anyway, with the AIDS thing and all that, I'm not going to say it on YouTube. If I was where I used to stream in the dark alleyways of the internet, right, I would have a lot to say about all of this, a great deal of stuff. But I'll let the article do with what it's going to do, and then I'll play a little video, because he's been in Congress. They've called him in. The pressure's on. The pressure's on. Because of Fauci, the US government's disastrous pandemic response was based on a tangled web of lies and subterfuge. This is what the article says, not me. Oh, well, I'm saying it because I'm reading it. Shush. The trove of COVID-related... We're going to insert COVID in here. The trove of COVID-related documents Senator Ron Paul and RK has released in recent days has revived the question of accountability for the government's COVID response, specifically for those who crafted that response, like Dr. Anthony Fauci, the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, who was the pandemic policies were based on a web of lies. Lies, eh?
All lies. All lies. It's all lies. All lies. Everything's a lie. All lies. All lies. Nothing is true. It's all lies. It's all lies. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's all lies. People, it's all lies.
Well, it's what they're saying. Portions of Fauci's personal diary and emails released by Paul reveal that can only be described as a pattern of deliberate deception about COVID's origins, its fatality, Fauci's role in school closures, the effectiveness of the COVID vaccine, and adverse reactions to it. The US funding for gain-of-function research in China that may have led to the pandemic. There's almost nothing, it seems, Fauci didn't lie about, but his lies about COVID's origins and US funding for gain-of-function research stand out because they're closely related, and that they might give federal prosecutors a chance to finally indict him for lying to Congress, if he repeats those lies when he appears before the Senate Homeland Security Government Affairs Committee on Wednesday. Fauci, of course, received a legally dubious preemptive pardon. Remember that? He got pardoned, didn't he? Preemptive pardon from President Joe Biden the day before he left office in 2025, covering a period stretching back to 2014. That pardon likely dissuaded Trump's Justice Department from pursuing perjury charges against Fauci, but in any case, the statute of limitations for those crimes expired on May the 11th of this year. That's bad, isn't it? You know, these people, they can get away with all of it, haven't they? As Hans Macherke has argued in these pages, Wednesday's Senate hearing offers an opportunity for lawmakers to elicit from Fauci the same false responses he's given in the past about the origins of COVID and the role of the National Institute of Health in funding gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China. Republican lawmakers have said that Fauci's presidential pardon will not shield him from prosecution if he once again perjures himself in Wednesday's hearing. We can have a look at Wednesday's hearing in a minute, so hang around for that. To understand the gravity of Fauci's deceptions and why he should be criminally charged for them, we need a bit of historical context. When COVID first appeared in China at the end of 2019, the most plausible explanation was it was escaped from a lab in Wuhan. I can't say stuff on here, it's YouTube. I can't say, right? All I can say is, if you've ever seen Dr. Mike Yeadon, Dr. Mike Yeadon was the ex-vice president of Pfizer, right? And he says it don't exist. I'll just leave it at that. That's Dr. Mike Yeadon, right? He was banned off all the internet, like everybody else who had anything to say about it, all the experts. But there you go. And YouTube was terrible with it all, and probably will. I'll probably this just because of this will probably get taken down after it's been. And I'll probably get a strike. We'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Let's just say that. I hope not. AI, YouTube AI, because this is in the public domain. This has been talked about in Congress now. Do you know what I mean? These things are out in the open now. You shouldn't be shutting all this down. It should be allowed to be said, and people should be able to have their personal views on it, and what they think and what they experienced during that period. Like me, nothing at all. No masks, no jabs, no social distancing, mixed with hundreds of thousands of people, literally hundreds of thousands of people, all without anything. No issues, no drama, no worries at the height of it all. Over and over and over again. Okay, there you go. Now you know. To understand the gravity of Fauci's deceptions... okay, shut up. No, man. Oh, God, where did I get to? Oh, shut up. Gain-of-function research combining viruses to create hybrids for the supposed purpose of understanding future diseases. Excuse me. Part of his work was funded by Eco Health Alliance, which had subcontracted a 2014 NIH grant to the Wuhan lab for gain-of-function research on bat coronavirus. Yeah. Yet Fauci has testified multiple times under oath that the NIH and the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, which Fauci ran, never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan. During a tense exchange with Senator Paul in May 2021, Fauci stated this categorically. When Senator Paul asserted that the NIH had indeed funded such research, Fauci snapped at him. "You are entirely and completely incorrect," he said. The NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in Wuhan Institute of Virology. At a following-up hearing 2 months later, Fauci declined to retreat that statement, angrily pointing a finger at Senator Paul and shouting, "If anybody's lying here, Senator, it is you." So they got a bit of... Defy Tyrants is here, everybody! Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Oh, Marie Walker, you're giving the game away. Let me get to it. I've got the video. It's classic. In making that dramatic assertion, Fauci was relying on a narrow technical definition of gain of function, which was only formalised by the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy in January of 2017, by which time gain of function research had been ongoing in Wuhan for years. Yet Fauci's past statements, as well as notes in his recently released private diary, indicate that what the Wuhan lab was doing with NIH grant funding was indeed gain of function research. God, how long does this go on for? Oh, this is going on forever. Anyway, so there's a load of stuff, right? They're on him. They're onto him. They're onto the fella, right? So, where do we go from there? Well, I'll tell you where we go from there. We can go actually to the hearing. So we'll have a little look at this. It's a few minutes long. It's 9 minutes long. I might have to interrupt it for purposes that you know about. So well, anyway, I'll probably will have to interrupt it. I don't want to, but it just breaks it up for the, because you have to with YouTube and all that stuff. Anyway, have a look at this and tell me what you think. This is him today, apparently, or Wednesday in Americano land. He's in trouble now, isn't he? He is, isn't he? Isn't he?
Senator Alling.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, nothing says honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc? Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs, they know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic you got rich, didn't you? You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end. And
nothing's going to happen. Nothing will happen. At the end of the day, I think Defy Tyrants has got it right. Fauci was already pardoned by Biden for any and all crimes past, present and future. These hearings are all a farce. BS show as usual. Yeah, I totally agree. But it's interesting to watch, you know. But I like the thought of him. I do like the thought of Anthony Fauci feeling very uncomfortable.
You were getting rich, and not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you?
Pandemic.
That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
You remember Greg Folkers? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Your chief of staff is the answer. Do you remember Patricia Conrad? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
She was your personal assistant. And what were these individuals doing in the depth of the pandemic?
I tell you what, that senator there, he's got a good head of hair, hasn't he? Just saying. I wish I had a head of hair like that again. Nice head of hair, isn't it?
In November of 2020, when millions of Americans were suffering from COVID, what were they doing? I tell you what they're doing. Folkers was on your behalf soliciting and gathering information for a cash award. Let's look at it. We've got his email right. For the Dan David Award for Fauci, we need to beef up the COVID part. Do you have language in the can that you share that delineates how we responded in new ways to COVID? He sends this to multiple federal employees. What was the Dan David Award? Do you remember, Doc?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It was a $900,000 cash award. $900,000 cash award. And he got it because he used federal employees to get it. And this wasn't the only award, was it, Dr. Fauci? In fact, you applied for and received at least 8 other federal cash prizes on federal time using federal employees and federal resources. Here they are over my shoulder. Besides the Dan David Award, you've got the partnership.
Unbelievable, really. The corruption in these positions is off the scale, isn't it? How can anybody trust anybody anymore after this madness? I mean, I certainly don't. I don't trust any of it anymore. Nothing. It's just all off its head.
For Public Service, you've got the Adelson Prize, you've got the Smithsonian Award, you've got the National Academy of Medicine's Award, you've got the CDC Foundation. In fact, you turned your staff into a full-time application machine. You actually wrote to people and said, do you think maybe I'd qualify? And you got cash for all of this. And it wasn't just 1 or 2 employees, was it? In fact, you used 8 separate federal employees on federal time using federal resources to solicit cash awards. Isn't that true?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Here they are right over my shoulder. Here's all of them. The people that you use, federal employees, so that you could go and get cash money. And the most hilarious part is that you weren't content to even dragoon them into applying for all of these cash awards. You then had them go out to the ethics agencies and ethics watchdogs and demand that you be able to get the money.
Nazulium is here, everybody! And Nazulium has a little thing to say. Nazulium says Fauci hasn't been pardoned by the citizen vigilante. Oh, what could you possibly mean, young man? Anyway, yes, we continue.
That's right. We've got it in your emails. Your staff and employees on federal time, using federal resources, being paid with federal dollars, are soliciting cash for you, and then they're turning around and saying to the agency, we don't want just an answer, we want to get to yes, because Fauci wants the money. He wants it. We want to get to yes, and yes takes time. This is your chief of staff again, using federal email to pressure the agency's own ethics people so that you could get money, so that you could get rich. And it violated the law, didn't it, Dr. Fauci? Didn't it? It violated the law, didn't it? Is that a question? It is a question. You can answer. Go ahead.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Federal law, as you very well know, prohibits the solicitation of cash awards or other personal benefits for federal employees. And it certainly prohibits using your own employees to do this. 5 CFR section 2635-205B, it says it right there in black and white. You cannot use federal resources, federal dollars, federal employees, federal offices, federal email, federal time to solicit cash awards, and you did all of it, and the worst part is thousands of people were dying while you were doing it. You were supposed to be the nation's doctor, and you were playing one on TV, but this is what you were doing with your time. Isn't that true?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see
That's
why.
not. I mean,
I can certainly see why.
I can't see. Do these people have to wander around with security after stuff like this? Defiant Tyrants has just said America has 100 million gun owners with over 400 million weapons and trillions of rounds of ammo, and we are allowing them to destroy us without one shot being fired by us. We haven't got anything. We're not allowed to have toenail clippers, mate. Basically, over here, you know what I mean. You have to, even if you want to get buy a kitchen knife. It's like it's a rigmarole, you know. It's just crazy over here. But yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what comes to my mind when this is going out there. I mean, maybe some people are going to get a bit upset about all this. You never know, do you? I'm not inciting anything. I'm just saying. Because people are very, very touchy lately, aren't they? You know, people seem to be a bit twitchy. And that's what I was saying. I wonder if these people are like Fauci now, that whether they have to wander around with 24-hour protection. Just, I don't know. I really don't. I would have thought so, especially in Americano land, especially when you're seeing stuff like this.
You know what I can't quite figure out is that why you were so obsessed with it, because you're already rich. I mean, and your scheme worked here. I mean, your net worth now is north of $12 million. You got over $1 million in cash awards during COVID, during a 12-month, 24-month span during COVID. $1 million you knocked down in cash money using federal resources. Now you're worth more than $12 million. You've got a pension that in its first year paid out north of $400,000 a year. 1 million people dead, you're getting rich. 1 million people dead, you're using federal employees to get cash awards for you. 1 million people dead, and you're here taking the fifth because you don't want to admit that what really happened in all that time was a multi-month, multi-year course of self-dealing. Isn't that true, Dr. Fauci?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Yeah, well, silence is admission.
I don't think Fauci's going to go down very well in history. I don't think a lot of them are, really. When history looks back at this period, if we have got any history, depending on what goes on, you know, in the near future, with everything else that's going on, I don't think he's going to be looked on very favourably, you know. A bit odd.
Here's the real thing. At the end of the day, it wasn't just about the money, really, was it? It was really about a power trip. I mean, through all of this, you want to be the most famous scientist in the world. You were so focused on getting every award and every drop of cash that you could, all because you wanted to be on TV. You wanted to be the sun god of science. You wanted to be the guy who was in charge of it all. You wanted to lambast Trump. You wanted to make sure that nobody else stole your spotlight. You wanted to be the guy.
That's the one thing I like about you Americans, lot, though, like these senators. He's not reading it from a speech, is he? There's true passion there when he speaks, this guy. I mean, I don't know who he is. But he's not got loads of stuff written down that he keeps having to look down like our lot do. They're all reading off a script, no matter what it is. He's not. It's just straight off the cuff. I love it. It's brilliant.
You had time to sit for InStyle magazine. Here's what you were doing with your time. You could sit for InStyle magazine, but you can't answer questions for the American people. You could sit for InStyle magazine, but you're here taking the fifth. You could sit for InStyle magazine and get $1 million in cash awards, But now the cat's got your tongue. I bet he does. I tell you what, here's my conclusion from all of this. This was really all about you the whole time. Somewhere along the way, you lost your way. You may have been a good public servant at one time, I don't know. But what I can tell you from reading your emails now, from looking at what you did, how you used your employees, somewhere along the line, it became all about you. You became a narcissist and a megalomaniac and a liar. And you've lied to the American people, and you've lied to this body. And you've disgraced your profession by doing it. You called yourself the most famous scientist in the world. You've done more to harm science than anybody in my lifetime. And I hope you'll go home and write that in your diary. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator
Brilliant.
Fetterman.
Brilliant. Amazing. I mean, at last, it looks like, I mean, nothing's going to happen. Obviously, nothing will happen. But it's good to see at some point, you know, he looks uncomfortable. I mean, that's as best we're going to get, really, I suppose. What's this? How's about a thumbs up, peeps? It says Gun. Yeah, give us a thumbs up. Yeah, if you're watching this for the first time, do the follow thing, the subscribe thing, and a thumbs up. That'd be really good. Cheers for that, Gun. Nice one. What have we got for you next? Well, so I'm sure many of you are aware that everywhere now, I think pretty much everywhere, when you look up at the sky sometimes and aeroplanes go over, they leave them really, really long white lines. And as you watch them, they just expand and expand and expand. And you get crisscrosses all over the sky. Now, some say it's geoengineering, weather manipulation. Some say it's not. I'm not saying either way, because it's YouTube. You know what I mean? We all know anyway, don't we? We all know something's not right with it. You know what I mean? Something's definitely not right with it. And so, with the weather that we're having in the UK now, which is it's like living in the south of Spain, pretty much. And although the south of Spain does get a bit hotter than this, but it's been regularly. I haven't really seen any rain for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Now, is that just natural? Are we just having a natural sort of hot summer, hot dry summer? Is that what's happening, or was it the manipulation that was being done before to make this situation? Or was the manipulation gone wrong and this is nature's way of kicking back against the weather manipulation? I don't know. I'll let you have a little chat about that amongst yourselves. But in the meantime, and for those of you that used to watch me in the dark alleyways of the internet, when I spoke to an ex-Special Forces guy in the UK, from the UK, who I met during the COVID things, when we were getting together at things and, you know, like the rebels that we were, I used to do some streaming in the dark alleyways, and I used to interview people now and again. And I had a phone call from this guy, and he said, Gaz, by the way, he said, watch the water. Right, it's going back a few years now. I went, what? He went, I've got mates that are still in Blackwatch, or whatever it's called. I think it's called Blackwatch. He said, and they said to me, watch the water. When the country starts having problems with water, brace yourself. Watch the water. Now, those of you that have followed me for many years and seen me talk about these things in the past, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, here is where we are. More than half of England in drought, Environment Agency declares. Yes, so there we are. So what does it say? Drought has been declared across more than half of England as hot, dry weather takes its toll on the country's water supplies. Now, when you factor in as well that there's so many more millions of people here, and the infrastructure hasn't necessarily been improved for such a vast new volume of people, the water's getting used up pretty quick. The Environment Agency announcement covers much of central, eastern and southern England, and is a public sign that future restrictions on water use might follow. Watch the water. It added that the impacts are already being felt, including low river flows, early harvests, and high risk of wildfires. More than 20 million people are already under hosepipe bans. North Wales and the Upper Severn River Basin entered drought conditions last week, Natural Resources Wales said. Scotland does not declare drought, but monitors water scarcity. Some parts of eastern Scotland are in the most extreme category of significant scarcity, according to the Scottish Environment Protection Agency. The hot and dry weather means we are currently using water faster than nature can replenish it, said Helen Wakeman, Director of the Water at the Environment Agency and Chair of the National Drought Group. The full list of English regions in drought conditions are East Anglia, Herefordshire and the whole of London, Thames Valley, Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, Devon and Cornwall, the West Midlands, Wessex covering Dorset, Somerset, Wiltshire and South Gloucestershire. There is no single definition of drought, but it usually refers to a period of prolonged, unusual dry weather that can have impacts on people, nature and the environment. The EA considers all of these factors before deciding whether to declare a drought. The declaration is a public sign, fucking fly, that the EA is stepping up its response to the dry conditions, including increased monitoring and controls on how much water can be taken from rivers and groundwater. It can mean hosepipe bans being introduced if they are not already in place. And then it goes on, you know, it's going on and on and on. Higher food prices, blah 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 blah. You know, all the normal stuff you'd expect. But what's causing it? I mean, is it just the weather? Hopefully, it is just the weather. But who knows? How long is this going to continue? Again, who knows? When will there be a real problem with water? Watch the water. Watch the water. What my friend said, he said at some point they will turn off water from houses, right? When the supply of water, just so you know, just be prepared, right? If this scenario comes into being. What my friend said, it was ex-Special Forces and he had friends still in the military in Blackwatch. He said what they were saying was, these people that are legally here, mingled amongst them are military personnel. And when the problem gets critical with the water, they will turn off water supplies to people's houses, and you will have to go to a designated spot where there's an up pipe, and that will be manned by, you guessed it, our new visitors, right? Which will be potentially in the guise of either some agency or the UN or something, right? That's what he was saying. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but we shall see. But watch the water. That's a definite. That's a definite. I need to kill this fly. It's really, really doing my head in. Mate, you're really going to get it in a minute. Anyway, I'm nearly finished here, and then I'm going to get it. Yeah, so that's that one. So what else have I got for you? Right, yeah, I'll finish on this because I've only got a few minutes left. We'll just do this quick. Just as back to the war, what Trump's supposed to have won, and it's all supposed to have been over. And apparently, was it last night? Iran was attacking Americano bases, so they've gone off piste. They've just started attacking Americano land. Apparently, I don't know what the response is going to be from the Americans and all that, but this is something that's happening now. Saudi Arabia joins US in strikes on Iranian-backed militias in Iraq. So it's all continuing, and it looks like there's an expansion of it going on now. So what do we got? Saudi Arabia and the US have carried out strikes against Iran-backed militias in Iraq in a potential escalation of the Middle East conflict. US Central Command said the strikes were against Iran-aligned terrorists that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps directed to attack US forces and Saudi energy infrastructure. Iraq's Parliamentary Popular Mobilization Forces, which is dominated by Iran-backed Shia militias, said at least 20 of its members had been killed in US-Saudi strikes on its bases. It comes hours after Centricom said Iran had launched missiles at US forces in the Middle East in an attempted surprise attack, ending a lull in hostilities. The US said the Iranian attack occurred, blah, 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 blah. So that's all volleying on nicely, like everything else. Anyway, that's me. That's Wednesday. It's been great to see you. Thanks for being here. If you give us a thumbs up in the thing, that'll be great. If you're new here and you can do the follow thing, that'll be lovely. I would appreciate that. And the bell thing, if you want to be sure. But I'm here Monday to Thursday from 7 o'clock UK time. Every Monday to Thursday. And it's just my hobby. It's just a bit of fun. Like to see you all in the chat and just have a bit of a chinwag. Anyway, and not one person brought to justice all. Yeah, defy tyrants. I know, I get what you're saying, mate. It's madness. Right, for now, that's me. I'll be back tomorrow, 7 o'clock. You all stay well, be lucky, and look after yourselves. See you in a bit.
We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down.
We ain't slowing down.
Keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling.
Yeah,
No, we ain't slowing it down.
let's go. We ain't slowing down, baby. Come and show me how. Gotta do it right now. You know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things they never last. Pull up in a whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium. Pull up with a team and I ain't worried about the other side. They know that they ain't beating. I'm on everything I love. Word to the man above. Keep it cool, calm, collected. At this point, you get the message. Life is hectic, but we gotta keep it rolling, no. Gotta keep it moving, keep it moving like we stole it, though. Rolling with the punches, giving hits like we are Interscope. Even though I'm clocking, punching in, I'm independent, though. Staying prayed up, ain't nothing gon' phase us. Ain't never gon' let a lame say what they just made up. I never take a pay cut, we getting what we worth in. I never change the blueprint, cause we know it's really working. Moving,
We keep on moving along.
keep it moving, keep it rolling.
No, we ain't slowing it down.
Never slowing down, never
moving.
moving.
We keep on moving along.
Keep it moving, keep it
rolling.
rolling.
No, we ain't
Keep it rolling, keep
slowing
it
it
moving, we
down.
ain't never gon' lose it. Cause we in it for the movement. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. Don't play into the amusement. If we trying, we ain't dying. Never sleep, never sleep, never. The moment that you rest your head, they think they can't compete. If you gotta skip steps, then the plan is not complete. Get your reps in, get your reps in, get your. Never rest on a past success. You gotta love what you do if you tryna be the best. Moving,
We keep on moving along.
keep it moving, keep it rolling.
We ain't slowing it down.
Never slowing down, never
Moving.
moving.
We keep on moving
Keep
along.
it moving, keep it moving, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, keep it moving. We ain't never gonna lose it.
Who's been to Epstein Island, mate?